Today we're going to be taking a look at Black Mirror's episode Hang the DJ. This episode is about two lovers who are controlled by a system that pairs people together based on your behavior and your responses to past relationships paired by the system. The data ends up pairing each individual with their perfect match. In this episode, Hang the DJ, both Frank and Amy rebel against the system to be paired together and break the simulation. Although that is the plot of the episode, today we're going to be discussing a topic within the episode relating to technology, faults in the system presented in Black Mirror, and faults in the real world that connect to this episode of Black Mirror. This episode mocks the discrete world of online dating that is posed in reality. As viewers, we have to dig deep and find out what the episode is really trying to tell us. After the initial 12-hour relationship between Frank and Amy, the system has collected information about them as individuals and sees what type of things they would like in a relationship. There are definitely plenty more relationships to be had, but Frank and Amy definitely set the scene for relationships to come. In Frank's second relationship with Nicolette, we see them eating together at dinner, and Nicolette seems very unsure of the relationship from the start. When reading the article The Ugly Truth About Online Dating, author Ryan Anderson tells readers that people lie on their dating profiles. Although the system doesn't allow individuals to lie and hang the DJ, the pairing may be inaccurate and cause for unhappiness within the relationship. The inaccuracy comes from the lack of data collected by the system. In this image, Nicolette looks simply unsatisfied and unhappy even though it is supposed to be an intimate scene. It does not pose for any sort of happiness. Throughout the rest of this relationship, we see scenes where Nicolette is angry and unhappy. The directors make sure that it is known through her facial expression. This brings Anderson to the point: online relationships don't last. The system paired the two together for a set time, but unlike Amy, Nicolette was not dying to see Frank again or showed any interest in him. The pairing was unsuccessful, and it was because of the lack of data presented in the system to give them a proper relationship. If this took place in the real world, it would connect to Anderson discussing people not being who they say they are and creating an online facade to impress a significant other. This relationship also was not good for Frank. Nicolette was angry, but Frank was unhappy. This episode is big on facial expression to show the mood of characters. Here we see shots of Frank looking distraught because of this relationship. The article, Science Says Online Dating is Terrible for Your Mental Health, discusses ways that online dating can bring individuals down. Brooke tells readers that 1 in 6 adults is addicted to finding a mate and their mental health has suffered as a result. The system is trying to properly pair people together to find their perfect match, but it can be disheartening when you're actively dating someone who makes you feel negatively about yourself, as Nicolette does. Making Frank and Nicolette stay in this relationship just shows the control that the system has over their users. Some features of our dating websites also has more control than we would care to admit. Brown tells readers about a feature on Match.com that will help individuals that are planning to go on dates. It'll make decisions about what to wear and topics of discussion for the date they are about to go on. Although this doesn't control the entirety of the relationship, it takes away individuals' choice, just as Amy's choice is taken away when she is paired with her final match.
In the article Pros and Cons of Dating by Jeremy Nicholas, he talks about the findings of Finkel and Associates in their review of the literature investigating various aspects of online dating. Jeremy goes in to describe some of the pros and cons. The first idea has to do with communication. The pro of online dating when it comes to communication is the amount of access we have. We have safe ways to communicate. You don't have to give your personal information because you can message on the app, so it will not take up your entire life if you do not want it to. The con would be you miss out on face-to-face connection. Without talking face-to-face, you miss out on little cues and other features that could create more of an attraction, such as slight touching and laughing together. As you can see in this clip, Frank is telling Nicolette a joke, but she is not impressed by it. This shows that through online dating, you do not understand the other person's sense of humor or sarcasm that sometimes makes the person's personality. You can clearly tell Nicolette does not like Frank's humor or charm. In this next scene, we watch Amy go through multiple different partners in a short period of time. These relationships also last for very short periods. In article 7 Drawbacks of Online Dating, according to Science by Rebecca Adams, she talks about how people become too picky while they are online dating. Having so many options at your fingertips causes you to believe you will find someone better. Rebecca also mentions people have a hard time making decisions because they are unsure if this is the right person or if the next person would be. You have unlimited options, so people question their decisions. She also goes into the lack of algorithms these sites have to determine how people will act once they match. They have questionnaires and surveys that single people answer, but this lacks knowledge of communication patterns, problem solving skills, and sexual compatibility of the people on the sites that are looking for matches. We see this through Amy's struggles of going through all these men. In the beginning of the scene, you saw her seem happy and optimistic. She also seems to enjoy the casualness of the short term relationships since she was unhappy in her last long term relationship. However, as they continue, you can see her in her face how drained and how unhappy she is. She seems to get tired of having to keep trying to see which one is going to work since all she wants to do is be with Frank. As you can see from this video, online dating is not all that it is cracked up to be. Our society idolizes it to make it seem like it is our only option as the new generation. We need to be more aware of what is going on around us. At the end of the episode, Amy starts to get skeptical of this system and believes it is a simulation. She then meets up with Frank and breaks out of the simulation. This is where they realize that all that they have been through were tests to see what kind of relationship or partner they should have in the future. After this, we see them in their real life as their true selves. I believe that this shows us we need to break away from online dating and get back to the original or traditional face-to-face dating. Thank you for watching our video on Hang the DJ and how online dating can be portrayed in many different ways.